Hi everyone, welcome back to another monthly TBR. So last month I had 5 spins and I successfully completed all 5. So I read The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb. I also read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas and Across the Green Grass Fields by Shauna Maguire. And it was a pretty good reading month, all 3 and 4s. Obviously wrap up coming soon. I successfully completed my January TBR and now on to our February one. So important to note is that I will be participating in Polarthon for the first week of February. I'm going to be on Team Penguin, Newt Newt. Polarthon is a readathon based around polar fantasy, which is created by JD Ray Reads, and this year she has like 4 hosts for 4 different teams, and I'm being on the Penguin team, which is Mind Molly's team, and I'm very excited. So I will be vlogging for Polarthon, so I'm not 100% sure what my TBR is. You have to read 3 books. I mean, you don't have to, but you're supposed to. I know for certain 2 books that I'm going to read, and then the third one I have a fairly good idea, but I'll change it depending on how busy I am that week, or I might even get around to reading a third one. So let's go for this first spin. So another month of the TBR, and once again I have not finished colouring in and writing down the prompts. Honestly, at this point I think I'll just like make a new board before I finish this one. So yeah. So just as a recap, last month we finally left the city and we've gone to the snowy place. We are now on 30 years out of 100 and we are on 80k in the volcano. So let's do spin number 1. 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So we have a blank. And so for our blank, we'll either have The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson or A Winter's Promise. This is a continuation of a series that I really want to do, but I also really want to read this for Polarthon, which I'm participating in. So and that is a black, so A Winter's Promise. So for this spin, I landed on a blank, and then my blank spin was between The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson and A Winter's Promise by Christelle DeBow. I'm not 100% sure. And I landed on A Winter's Promise, which is very good because it is a polar fantasy. I'm not 100% sure what this story is about, but I believe it is translated from French and it follows these different kind of arcs, and they all have like family spirits that gives them powers, and our main character is sent off to this wintry, icy one for a political marriage. And I'm guessing stuff happens from there. Spin number 2 is 3.
1, 2, 3.
A middle grade. So then I landed on a middle grade, and for this I'm going with Frostheart by Jamie Littler. Again, this is another one that is a polar fantasy, and I know it's like How to Train Your Dragon's like favorite book ever, and I've been meaning to get to it for a while, and now is finally the time. I'm not 100% sure what prompts each of these books will cover for Polarthon. I'm pretty sure this will have an Arctic adventure and maybe I think some animal friends, so I think it might hit those 2. This one, I believe it follows a young boy called Ash, and he is like, is it a song weaver or something? He has some sort of ability to do with like singing, and because of this ability he is kind of exiled from his like town, and so he goes off on the Frostheart to try and find his parents, maybe? Spin number 3. Number 9 again. So we've landed on a boat, which means that we have to choose something set in a different continent. So then the next spin was set on a different continent, and for a minute I was really stuck because I couldn't think of anything. I don't have any unread contemporaries on my shelf, and so I was really stuck. And then I remembered that City of Brass takes place in 18th century Cairo, I think, and then I think they kind of moved to like this magical city, but I think the start of it anyway is in Cairo, so different continent. So this follows Nari, I think, is that her name? She is a bit of a con artist, and she has like the ability to sense like sickness and stuff, but if she knows that a customer is maybe a bit richer, she will exaggerate their condition so that they go to her friend who is an apothecary and buy more stuff off her. And then one day she accidentally summons a Jinn warrior, and then I think she gets taken to the city of brass. This would also technically fit for Polarthon, because even though it's not a polar fantasy, it does have foiled. It does have a bit of foiling on it. Not a lot, but it does have some, and that is one of my prompts. Now on to spin number 4, and now I really wish that I decided to color in this, because now it's all blank. 3. Just realized that's supposed to be a stop for lowest rated, but I didn't fill it in. Oh my god, I'm the worst. Okay, I know that it is supposed to be lowest rated, so I'll just have to go with it. So then I landed on lowest rated, which I didn't even have written in onto the board because I'm the worst. I went to my Goodreads, I sorted it by my lowest rated on my TBR, and Wicked by Gregory Maguire showed up. This has like a 3.5 average rating, which is not good. And that makes me very nervous. You may recall that I was going to read this for a vlog where I was reading books that musicals were based off of, / one book where it was based off a musical. And yeah, I never got around to this or any of the others because I had to delete all the footage, and I didn't get around to this, and so now it's just sitting on my TBR, and I guess now the time has come. And I suppose while I'm at it, I will probably start to film a attempt number 2 at reading musical books, and this will be the first one, but that probably won't be out for another couple months. I'm actually not sure about the book premise. I only know the musical premise, but I imagine it's fairly similar. It's just a prequel nearly to The Wizard of Oz, where we follow Elphaba's story, who is the Wicked Witch of the West. And we find out her and Glinda the Good, they actually had a friendship when they were in school together, and it's just the story of how she became the evil villain of The Wizard of Oz. So Wicked is my favorite musical ever, and I know that this book is not supposed to be good, which makes me very nervous, but I'm also very intrigued about it, so I guess we will see. And one last spin, hopefully, is a 4. And number 4 is a Goodreads Choice Award winner. So for that one, I will choose one of the categories from last year and read the winner or a book in that series or whatever. Then the last prompt I landed on was a Goodreads Choice Award winner. So I went through the 2020 winners in all of the categories, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to read, but in the end I decided to go for The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. So many people loved this and raved about it last year, so I might as well give it a go. It follows, I think, multiple generations of a family that live in this town, and it follows, I think, 2 sisters who are white passing, and one lives her life as a white woman, and then the other lives her life as a black woman. And so the sisters, they've like grown apart, and then I think the story kind of starts again when their children, so cousins, meet, and they're both being brought up in very different circumstances. So I'm very curious about this. It's gotten rave reviews, but I don't read too much literary fiction, so I'm kind of nervous. So that brings us to the end of my February TBR. So you will have to watch my Polarthon vlog to see what I end up reading for my 3rd book, if I end up reading anything for my 3rd book. But I also have more books that I have to read for a video that is coming out for Valentine's Day. I think I'll get most of them done before February, and then the ones that I don't, I'll finish on the 2nd week, and then I'll have to get to the rest of the TBR. So this month's gonna be a little hectic, but I'm sure I'll manage. So I read the first book of the Mistborn trilogy, and I also read the first book in the Broken Earth trilogy, and I would love to continue those, but I don't think I will have enough time for those, and they'll just have to wait till March. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!